Right then guys, how's it going and welcome back to a new series of your Premier League predictions. The series where you guys go up against me, see who can get the most correct predictions for the upcoming weekend of Premier League football. If you are happy to see this series back, be sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe if you are new. I need to start off with an apology because I missed game week 1. I missed the first week of the new series, which is not the greatest of starts, so I do apologise for that. I was a bit busier last week than I planned to be, but we are back, and we are getting started with game week 2 of the 21-22 season. So if you guys are new or don't know how this works, basically get your predictions down below for this weekend's Premier League football. I will go through all of your predictions and shout out the winner in my video next week. And we'll basically see who does better, you guys or me. Now I'm not going to lie, you guys definitely won last year. I did not do very good, but I am hoping to be better this season, starting off with this weekend's games. The first one, 12:30, we have got Liverpool taking on Burnley. So, Liverpool, cracking start of the season. They played Norwich. They played them a few years ago and won by a few goals then. They played them last weekend and won 3-0. Salah off to a great start. Burnley, they lost their first game 2-1 against Brighton, which I'm sure they won't be particularly happy with, to be honest. So 3-0 Liverpool. They won 3-0 last week. I'm probably going to put them down for another win. Score-wise, you know, I'd like to see Burnley put up a fight, but I think I've got to give it to Liverpool here. I should add, the Liverpool versus Burnley game is on BT, if you want to watch that one. Now, moving on to the 3 o'clock kickoffs. The 3 o'clock kickoffs are back, which I'm pretty happy with. First game up, we've got Villa taking on Newcastle. Aston Villa and Newcastle both started their season with a loss at the weekend. Villa lost 3-2 against Watford. Newcastle lost 4-2 against West Ham. So, obviously Villa losing Grealish. There's a lot of eyes to see how they do without him. Obviously, they've brought in Danny Ings, which I think is a fantastic signing, and he did get on the score sheet for them, although it was a little too late with a penalty right at the end of the game. As for Newcastle, if you watch this channel regularly, you'll know I am a Newcastle fan, and I did go to the West Ham game. Back in the stadium, everyone was so happy. First half was incredible, 2-1 up. West Ham come out and score 3 goals in 15 minutes in the second half. So, yeah, typical Newcastle. 1 good off, 1 rubbish one, and we end up losing 4-2. The only thing I can say is that Newcastle will have Willock for the Villa game, which I'm hoping will give the players a boost and not only give us some better football on the pitch, but some better morale as well. I'm going to go 1-1. I'm not going to lie, a few of the Newcastle fans I've spoken to have said they reckon we're going to lose this one, and I probably wouldn't disagree, but it's still early days, and Willock needs to get a goal so he can continue his 8 goals in 8 games, or 7 goals in 7 games, so yeah, I'm going to go 1-1 for that one. Moving on, again at 3 o'clock we've got Crystal Palace taking on Brentford. We'll start with Crystal Palace. They did not have the start they wanted. Patrick Vieira, the manager there now, they lost 3-0 against Chelsea. Brentford, on the other hand, had the exact start that they wanted. First game of the Premier League season, taking on Arsenal on the Friday night, and they went and won 2-0. You know, I think Brentford have got some expectation. I mean, I think they are a team that people want to see do well. Did I think they were genuinely going to beat Arsenal on Friday night? Not really. But they really showed up for it. I think I was one of the games I watched. They just looked like they wanted it. They really wanted it. And they got it, you know. So, for a prediction on this one, I've backed the team who won the first game. I've gone 1-0 Brentford. Crystal Palace will be at home for this one, which I think could well make a difference, having the fans back and a big boost for them. So maybe they could nick it. To be honest, I think it's going to be close either way. I've nudged it in Brentford's favour, but I wouldn't be surprised which way it went. Next up again at 3 o'clock, Leeds versus Everton. Leeds did not have the start they wanted, losing 5-1 against Manchester United. But in the talk, this was another game I watched. They did talk about it quite a lot, with Leeds being the team that, and I said this all last season, it's an enjoyable, they're a good team to watch. You know, there's going to be goals one way or the other. You know, going to watch Newcastle every week, you know we're going to be useless and not going to score many goals every week, so it's not fun. At least with Leeds, you might score loads, you might lose by loads. It's going to be exciting either way, and unfortunately for them on this occasion, it did not go their way. Now, they're going to want to try and change that against Everton, but Everton did have the start they wanted, beating Southampton 3-1. Rafa Benitez got the start he wanted, new manager in charge of Everton. They were 1-0 down, and it was actually ex-Newcastle player Adam Armstrong who got the goal there, so well done to him. But unfortunately for Southampton, Everton came back with 3 more goals of their own. In terms of a prediction, and considering, you know, the Everton game was 3-1, quite a few goals in that one as well, I've gone 2-2. I'm hoping for it to be quite an attacking end-to-end game, which you always get with Leeds, and plenty of goals. And the final 3 o'clock game, we have got Manchester City taking on Norwich. So again, 2 teams who did not get the start they wanted. I've already mentioned Norwich losing against Liverpool 3-0. You know, Norwich have just come up and they have a very tough start of the season. Liverpool first game, Man City second game, and I'm pretty sure the next 2 or 3 are pretty rough as well. So can they maybe take advantage of a Manchester City team who have just lost their first game, are still kind of finding where they want to be? Obviously Aguero's not there anymore. Grealish stepping into a team, Mahrez stepping into a team. I saw a comment about Manchester City, and it was something like Sterling and Sané, who used to be at Manchester City, on the wings, blitz and pass players. And you know, you look at that Spurs game, and it was they were a lot more in the middle. The pace was a little bit out of that team. Now, don't get me wrong, Manchester City have got 2 starting 11s. That, you know, they've got 9 players on a bench that would beat most 11-player teams. But I think with players coming back from the Euros, maybe they weren't quite where they wanted to be, ready for this Spurs game. And to be honest, I thought Man City looked cool. I thought first 15 minutes they looked the better side. I thought they're gonna win it. But Spurs built their confidence up, got the goal, and took the 3 points. So, however, do I think Manchester City will bounce back and beat Norwich now at home for their first game? Yes. I've gone 3-1. I've given Norwich a goal, but I think Manchester City will take it. Moving on to 5:30 on the Saturday. This one's on Sky. We have got Brighton taking on Watford. Brighton, I've already mentioned, won their first game 2-1 against Burnley. Mapai and Alistair getting on the score sheet, so a fantastic start for them. Taking on Watford, who again I've mentioned had the start that they wanted, winning 3-2 against Aston Villa. Promoted side, winning their first game in. Now playing against a Brighton side who, rightly or wrongly, may be potentially in that category of fighting relegation along with Watford. So I know it's extremely early in the season, but 3 points either way for these 2 teams would really make a big difference, I think, coming closer to the end of the season. Or could. You know, it's far too early to say. I've backed the home team 1-0. I've gone Brighton 1-0. I know Watford scored 3 goals at the weekend and they could well get some more. But again, I think it's going to be another tight game and it could go either way. So I've just nudged it towards Brighton on this one. Next up, and moving on to the Sunday at 2 o'clock on Sky again, we have got Southampton taking on Manchester United. So we've already talked about it. Southampton lost their opening game against Everton despite going 1-0 up. I mean, again, new signing Adam Armstrong getting on the score sheet. Obviously, Danny Ings has gone to Villa. They've brought in the replacement. He gets a goal very early in the game. However, Everton proved to be too much, scored 3 against them. But the point was they were on the score sheet. New striker scoring. There are some positives to pick up from what ended up being, a loss. Taking on Manchester United, who not only won, but won in emphatic fashion, 5-1. Pogba got 4 assists. Bruno Fernandes got a hat-trick. It was a pretty exciting game to watch, to be fair. And I expected them to beat Leeds. I didn't expect them to get 5 goals. Putting a scoreline on this one, I've gone 3-1 Manchester United, so the same scoreline that Southampton lost to last weekend. I mean, I've got Bruno in my fantasy team, so if he fancies getting a few more, that would be great. I've got Luke Shaw as well, so if he fancies an assist, that would be cool. Next up, again on the Sunday and again at 2 o'clock. So this one doesn't appear to be on TV. We've got Wolves taking on Spurs. Wolves lost their first game 1-0 against Leicester. I didn't watch this, but I did watch the highlights of this one. What a goal by Vardy, to be fair. But not the start that Wolves would have wanted. Now taking on a Spurs side who I think most people would have said predicted to lose that game against Manchester City. So, again, I didn't mention it before, the Harry Kane debate is still ongoing. He obviously didn't play in that game. Is that because they are holding on to him in case he gets injured, because they still expect Manchester City to make that increased bid? I would say yes. I actually think he will go to Manchester City. I'm a neutral in this game, so, I'm probably wrong anyway, but I don't know. It's really tough. I mean, they've just shown what they can do without him. Son getting the goal, winning that game. I think that will give them a huge bit of confidence. And let's be honest, I mean, the manager's team talk, Nuno, what's he got to say in the dressing room? Our top striker wants to go and play for these. Let's get out there and show them what we're about. And that's exactly what they did. So a fantastic start of the season for them. And I'm going to say it's going to continue. I'm going to go 2-1 Spurs for that one. So again, let me know down below. 4:30 on the Sunday on Sky, we have got Arsenal taking on Chelsea. I already mentioned it. Arsenal lost 2-0 against Brentford opening game. I mean, Arsenal have been having a few issues for the last few years, and it isn't made better when you lose against the promoted side first game of the season. And it's not like it was 3 o'clock when there's other games on. It was the Friday night, first game back. Everyone was watching, and they went and lost. And Arsenal have got more players than Newcastle again, but they sold Joe Willock to us 25 million. I watched the Arsenal-Brentford game. They could have done with him, to be honest. Scoring midfielder, energetic box-to-box player. I mean, they probably want to try and spend that 25 million somewhere else, but watching that game, I'm thinking, we've done well here. So, taking on Chelsea, who beat Crystal Palace 3-0 in their first game of the season. I put Lukaku ready, ? I think he's available to play in this one. But whether he is or he isn't, I think I would still back Chelsea to win it, and I've gone 2-0 to Chelsea. And to finally finish things off, Monday night game, we have got West Ham versus Leicester. Again, I mentioned West Ham scored 4 goals against Newcastle, 3 in 15 minutes in the second half. Benrahma looking really good. I mean, again, I'm into my fantasy football. If you're interested, check that out on the channel as well. Quite a lot of people are expecting some good things for him this season, particularly with what looks like no Jesse Lingard. Could he be the man to basically do that all season? He did it in this game. Taking on Leicester, who, as I said, won against Wolves 1-0. Vardy finish was very nice. Basically, ball comes in from the cross, big toe, right in the roof of the goal. So, Monday Night Football, 2 teams who won. I've gone 1-1. Again, you know what? I've gone through all of that. First weekend of the Premier League season, wins and losses. There was no draws. First game week, there was no draws. And I have got a few in there. So, I think there's likely to be a lot more goals this weekend as well. But anyway, those are all of my predictions up there. As I say, be sure to get your predictions down in the comments below for all of these games. I will go through all of them before the first game kicks off, which is Saturday at 12:30. So I've tried to post this nice and early in the week, so you guys have got pretty much Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday morning to get your predictions in. When that first game kicks off, I will stop making note of the predictions, so be sure to get them in before that Liverpool-Burnley kicks off on Saturday. As always, I will go through all of your predictions before next week, and I will shout out the winner who got the most correct scores and see who did better, you guys or me. Alright, as I say, if you're happy to see this series back, be sure to drop a like if you've enjoyed this video, or if you watch these videos often but have never hit the subscribe button, please do. We are getting ever closer to 22,000, so that would be brilliant. And yeah, enjoy your week, enjoy the football, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.